Speak loudly. They're excited to hear you.
Yes, those are the cues to adjust the mic. No, our Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 29th and very first outdoor commencement ceremony for Schenectady High School. My name is Christopher Chank. I am the executive principal here. I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Schenectady High School JROTC and for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Everyone may be seated. Let's give a round of applause to our JROTC cadets. Once again, welcome to Schenectady High School, Larry Mulvaney Field. I have to say, it is an exhilarating experience to be right here right now, to be together on our field for this celebration. As this year progressed, we all knew that today would look a little different than the usual graduation ceremony. But honestly, I never dreamed it would look this good. Let's give the class of 2021 a round of applause. Everyone here looks awesome. So our program today may look and sound a little different, but that's okay, because we are so happy to be together. If you are like me, you've spent the last 10 days hitting refresh on your phone's weather app to see if today's forecast was rain or 95 degrees or knowing this year a hurricane. After everything this class has experienced in the crazy journey of this last year, we can all agree that you, the class of 2021, truly deserves this beautiful sunshine-filled graduation day. For everyone here to understand what a journey it has been for this class, we must follow their path backward, retracing their steps all the way back to the 2008-2009 school year when the class of 2021 entered kindergarten. 2008 was a notable year, the election of President Obama, a national financial meltdown, the first Iron Man movie, and the release of the second generation iPhone, the iPhone 3G. It's supposed to be funny. Throughout the years since, the members of the class of 2021 have been traveling their individual paths to this place for this celebration. Their journey along the path was made more challenging by circumstances, some by choice and others forced upon them. For some, the challenges may have come in the schools they attended or the moves their families made. For others, may have been opportunities taken that came their way that they knew would be a huge challenge. Or for everyone, it was that other thing, which I won't name, that had us all in our homes and out of our classrooms and workspaces for so much of this last year and a half. Basketball legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spoke at a recent graduation and said, "Surviving means that you have come through the catastrophe, but you're still relatively intact. But thriving is about learning and growing as a result of the event." For you, the members of the class of 2021, to thrive along the pathways you traveled took enormous effort. To thrive despite the challenges, despite the barriers that were placed in your way is extraordinary. As everyone assembled here knows, from their own experiences and watching your hard work, what you have accomplished was not easy. There were no shortcuts, no cheat codes, no smoother paths to reach this day. Challenge and adversity could be around every corner. The can-do spirit that propelled the class of 2021 to thrive rather than just survive was embodied by the success of our inaugural class of smart transfer students. If anyone is not aware, there are 7 graduates who followed a path into college before they even started their sophomore year. And by the time they were juniors, they were enrolled at SUNY Schenectady full-time. The courage that these scholars showed, enrolling in classes with students of all ages, excelling in those classrooms and now graduating with associate's degrees, demonstrated an enormous amount of bravery in the face of adversity. But that is another lesson of our journey. We sometimes must face the adversity. We must face the risks. We should never fear failure, and we should never turn back. We should see failure as feedback and value it as a powerful motivator and educator in our ongoing journeys, always using it to our advantage and using it to thrive. Now, our graduates here know from their experience that we cannot always do it alone. A great piece of advice I read recently says, it matters a whole lot less what you're doing and a whole lot more about who you're doing it with. So class of 2021, look around and cheer your fellow graduates. Let's give them a round of applause. It's always important to stop for a moment and look around and see the people who are here. I want the graduates to think deeply, because as graduates, you are expected to be deep thinkers. Think deeply about the impact the people on this field have made in your life and on your success. Your family and friends, your teachers, your counselors, and others at school who help motivate you. Look for the people who are around you, the ones who have been there with you from the start. The people in your life who have been afraid, but they have done the right thing anyway, who have shown you by their example of how to be brave. Follow their examples and look to journey on the same paths that they have taken. When you can spot these moments of bravery, even the small and unrecognized ones, you can find the way to be the hero along your own path, wherever it may take you, regardless of who you are. We live in a world of profound inequality, enormous inequity that is full of systems that have been built and sustained over the years in ways that can hurt the most vulnerable in our society and community. Hopefully, all of our paths may converge in ways that we can challenge these systems and make a better world. Our goal would be to make our school and community a place where everyone can thrive, not just survive. Now, as you prepare to end one journey, and in my remaining moments as your principal, I give the class of 2021 one final project, one final assignment that you're required to work at. Don't worry, it's not an essay. From this day forward, it is your responsibility to encourage others to make our community stronger for everyone. That path is always through education. Encourage your junior friends who haven't made it to this stage yet. Speak to your younger relatives and encourage them the way that you were encouraged. You know the power of the path firsthand, and you know that getting to this day is worth it. As that famous future philosopher Morpheus once said, it is the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And it was our privilege to journey together with you, the class of 2021. So Congratulations, members and families of the class of 2021. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of Schenectady High School, remember always, we love you, we are so proud of you, and we wish you all the best along your path and into your future. Thank you. So it is our tradition at graduation for members of the John Sayles School of Fine Arts Serenaders to present a vocal performance. Because it was too late to get our choir together for an in-person, for today's ceremony, we present a socially distanced recording of You'll Never Walk Alone that we dedicate to the class of 2021.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of the lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on and on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk, you'll never walk, you'll never
At this time, I would like to introduce Jocelyn Hoffman, cohort principal for the class of 2021.
Thank you, Mr. Chank. Hi, everybody. I would like to introduce somebody who is not only the leader of our district, but is a relentless advocate for all students and families in Schenectady. Dr. Aaron Boshniak is currently serving as the interim superintendent of Schenectady City School District. Dr. Boshniak was appointed to the role of acting superintendent in March of 2020, but started with Schenectady City School District in the 2016-17 school year. With almost 27 years in the field of education, he is most proud of his time serving the students, faculty, staff, and community of Schenectady. I now invite Dr. Boshniak to the podium to address the graduating class of 2021.
Thank you, Ms. Hoffman. Good afternoon, graduates. You're the reason why we're here today, so good afternoon, and good afternoon also, of course, to our families, our staff, our Board of Education, and members of our community. As Ms. Hoffman said, my name is Dr. Aaron Boshniak, and I'm proud to be serving as the interim superintendent of Schenectady City School District. And I'm honored to have the opportunity to address the class of 2021 this afternoon. First and foremost, congratulations. Be proud. You made it. Before coming to work at Schenectady City School District, as I was leaving my previous school district, a colleague of mine gave me a book called Together is Better, a little book of inspiration by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek, in case you don't know, he's an author and a speaker. I've followed him regularly and I seek inspiration from him. The person who gave the book to me knew it too, and in fact, I had introduced my colleague to Simon Sinek's books and impactful messages about inspiration and discovering purpose. Sinek gained notoriety from his TED Talk called Start With Why. It was the third most watched TED Talk in 2009 when he released it, and his message is pretty simple. It goes like this: always start with why. He stresses that the reason why you do something is more important than what you do or how you accomplish it. When you know and understand your why and what you believe, you'll make decisions that move you in that direction. And you'll attract those who will inspire you so that you can grow and change the world for the better. I've absolutely cherished that book. It, along with so many supportive people in my life, has inspired and served me as inspiration for me, especially during times of change. Today, I extend Sinek's message to you, and I encourage each of you to find your purpose and your why. So preparing for your commencement ceremony today and thinking about how important the day is, I remembered a quote from Sinek's book that I want to share with you. This quote makes me think about the journey, the path to graduation day, the one you had to take to get to where you are today, right here, but also the path you have ahead of you when you leave here today. So Sinek says, success is when reality looks like what's in our imagination. Excitement comes from the achievement, but fulfillment comes from the journey that you got there. I know that each and every one of you envisioned wearing your cap and gown and having your diploma in hand. And even with all the unknown and unprecedented challenges and uncertainties over the past year, you persevered. You stuck with it. You imagined what it would look like and feel like in some way, shape, or form. You did it. Being here today, this is truly success. And you have so many people who are proud of you for all that you've achieved, especially amidst, and I know Mr. Cenk wouldn't say it, but I will, especially amidst a pandemic. Through virtual school without in-person connectedness, which we know is so important, but you still stayed the course, even as our schools and even as all of our lives were on pause. You continued on the journey. You saw it through to the end, no matter how difficult it's been. Be proud and fulfilled because it was your journey. You made it. And today, you have on your caps and gowns. And in just a moment, you'll be crossing the stage with your diploma in hand. No matter how you imagined it would look, you did it. Yes, you did it, and today is all for you. So further in Sinek's book, he says, our struggles are the short-term steps we must take on our way to long-term success. Know that the struggles you experience getting to this point are only indicative of your strength and all you can do. As you go off into life, whether it is college or a career or a life of service, whatever it is you have ahead of you, don't be afraid of the struggle. Fail forward. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. Learn from your mistakes and know that success always takes help. Connect with other people who share the same passions as you, the same vision as you. If you don't have a vision, that's okay. Just be sure to find one. You can be your own visionary, or you can be inspired by the vision of others. As long as it resonates with you, it doesn't matter where your inspiration comes from, but always surround yourself with people who support you and will help make your vision your reality. Be the leader of your journey, but take help from others along the way. I'm sure there are many people you're thinking about who helped you get to this point. Be thankful for them and know, like the title of Sinek's book, together is better. An African proverb speaks to this quite simply. To go fast, go alone. To go far, go together. So in closing, I leave you with one final quote from Sinek's book. I think this is apropos for where all of you are today, but most importantly, where you'll be tomorrow. High school graduates with bright futures and bright with promise. So cynic says, it doesn't matter when we start, it doesn't matter where we start, all that matters is that we start. So in the words of Nike, just do it, because I know you can do it. Look what you've accomplished already. While your high school journey comes to a close, your new journey is just beginning. Tomorrow starts a new journey. Don't be afraid to start. Find your vision, just start, and go get it. Be excited by your achievement and be fulfilled by your journey. Do it together, because together is better. Congratulations to all of you. Live your life with purpose and keep aiming for your why. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bosniak. Next, I would like to invite Elizabeth Chaco, the president of the class of 2021, to the podium to introduce the Schenectady High School salutatorian. Adjust the mic however you want.
Okay.
And make sure you put your name there.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Chaco, and I'm honored to be here today to introduce our Schenectady High School class of 2021 salutatorian, Grace Lindenfelser. Before coming to Schenectady High School, Grace was a Montessori student from the age of 2 through her middle school years. Montessori taught Grace how to be passionate, curious student she is today. The transition from a small, homogeneous school to a large, diverse school was challenging, but not something Grace was unprepared for. A constant in Grace's life has been art, whether visual or musical. From a very young age, Grace's grandmother got her interested in art, and Grace and her Mimi spent countless hours at the art table learning, experimenting, and creating. During her high school years, Grace enjoyed the vibrant artistic community here. Having the privilege to participate in several art shows, she is thrilled to have the opportunity to study visual arts at SUNY New Paltz this upcoming fall. Please help me in welcoming Grace Lindenfelser to the podium.
Thank you, Lizzie. Good afternoon, class of 2021, teachers, staff, and families. This is a big day to share together, if not as a whole, at least as part of the graduating class. Thank you all for being here. Before I begin, I would like to extend a special thank you to all the teachers I've had over the years who've helped me to get here on this stage. This year in particular hasn't been easy, and I want to recognize and appreciate your hard work. I've gained some amazing friends who've helped me through high school, and I would like to thank them too for the gift of their friendship. And of course, I want to thank my family who have continually supported and loved me through it all. Now heads up, I'm going to get real serious real quick. This speech is a topping to the worst school year of my life. At the height of my senioritis, I did not want to be told to do more work by working on this speech. And as an introverted person, the last place I want to be is on a stage giving a speech to all of my classmates. It kind of feels like the ultimate class presentation, and we all know the nerves that come with that. Most of you don't know me, yet here I am representing you all, the class of 2021. I think we can all agree that it's been a roller coaster of a year, with all of the history-making events occurring not only at home, but around the world. We've surely been living through unprecedented times. The pandemic has made sure that even though we are suffering, at least we are suffering through the same problem. I know most of us seniors must have felt incredibly discouraged to go through our last year of high school virtually, without daily classes amidst friends, help from teachers, and the comforting sense of a routine that's carried us through at least 3 years. Yet I know there are also some that feel relieved to be learning from home and found greater ease in it than going to school. A valuable lesson I learned this year that isn't taught in academics is that difficult looks different for everyone. We all live unique lives from each other, lives that shape us into the distinct individuals we are today. Some of us have needed to prioritize family over education, while others needed to prioritize their mental well-being over education. The pandemic has only exaggerated these problems, making this year much harder than it should have been. Besides our life experiences, the way our minds work also differentiates us. Where one person finds piling their homework last minute to be an effective strategy for them, another may need to break down their work over time. We all simply function differently. Therefore, struggles and success come differently for each person. This can be frustrating because success isn't always tangible and struggles aren't always recognized. Hard work is shown through growth and perseverance, even if you fail time and again. Class of 2021, the fact that you're sitting here with your caps on, gowns on, proves that you've persevered. To those who've had to work jobs or have been struggling with their mental well-being, you've persevered. To those who've cared for their family or have even lost family this year, you've persevered. To those who've gone above and beyond to succeed in or just pass your academics, and to those whose struggles I have not named, you've persevered. You've done amazing this year. You've survived this weird, exhausting year while passing high school. Well done. And thank you to the teachers and staff who've carried us through this year, despite the daunting unknown, while combating your own struggles. You've been challenged in ways you never should have been, but have conquered the unfamiliar obstacles. You've persevered as well. There's a poster on my bedroom wall that I see every day when I finish my school day. It's very plain and has nothing but the words, repair, refashion, reimagine. I got it a couple of years ago thinking it was a brilliant activist motto, but now it has a completely different meaning to me. This series of steps seems to define how we should be leading our disrupted lives now. Our first step is to repair from the damage this year has caused, to heal from loss, whether it be of a person or something of materialistic value, to allow a pause in life to feel grief we haven't processed yet, or simply to rest and recuperate when there's been nonstop work. Rest and recovery are necessary to build the strength we'll need in our next steps in life. Our second step is to refashion our current lives and plans for the future. All of us will have to rethink how we will lead our lives while this pandemic continues to live alongside us. This was one of the most dramatic turning points in our lives, but we are learning to handle it. We've built a type of resilience and adaptability that not many other graduation classes before us had, and I believe that is what will make us thrive. Our final step is to reimagine our future after these unexpected hurdles. We can still dream big after we've been torn down time and again over the past year. In fact, it's because of our survival through one of our toughest years that you can dream big. Your strength was proved this year, and it was indestructible. Now go with that strength, go with that resilience, that adaptability, and know that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. And now I invite Gianni Winter, Vice President of the Class of 2021, to the podium to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Aaron Mayer. You want to adjust side of the camera.
Okay. Dr. Erin Mayer is a retired New York State public health, epidemiological, spatial analyst, environmentalist, and 57th National President of the Sierra Club with an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters for his international climate work from the State University of New York at Binghamton. As a national environmental justice movement pioneer, founder and activist of the Arbor Hill, New York community in Albany, he was responsible for the creation of the W. Haywood Burns Environmental Education Center and the Arbor Hill Environmental Justice Corporation. He currently lives in Schenectady, New York, and works for the Adirondack Council. Dr. Mayer was elected president of the Sierra Club on May 16, 2015, and was the organization's first African-American president. Mayer has been a member of the Sierra Club since 1999. Since that time, he has held many leadership positions with the Sierra Club, including National Environmental Justice and Community Partnerships Chair, National Diversity Council, also work with the Atlantic Chapter, Environmental Justice Chapter Chair, and the Hudson Mohawk Group, International Human Rights / Environment, Environmental Justice and Wilderness, Water Quality and Habits. Dr. Mayer is a graduate of Binghamton University, where he received a Bachelor of Arts in History and Sociology and a certificate in Southwest Asia and North African Studies. He also trained at Rhode Island's Naval Education and Training Center and attended the American University in Cairo, where he participated in Binghamton's University Political Science doctoral program, but left the program to begin state service in 1988. In 1995, Dr. Mayer founded the Arbor Hill Environmental Justice Corporation, which was a member of the White House Council on Environmental Quality from 1998 to 2000. He also founded, served board member, and lectured at the W. Haywood Burns Environmental Center in the Albany Capital Region of New York. In 1999, Mr. Mayer was a member of Friends of Clean Hudson. In 2000, Mayer received an EPA Environmental Quality Award for cleanup of polychlorinated biphenyls on the Hudson River. Mayer also served as board member at the New York League of Conservation Voters in 2000. So it is my honor to invite to the podium Dr. Erin Mayer.
Good afternoon. Everybody awake? Oh, I gotta warm y'all up with your anthem. You're a class of resilience, a class of action, a class of power. And I want to borrow a little bit of a verse from Common and John Legend, which was an anthem that many of you know, and I hope you can sing a little bit with me. I want you to feel that in your heart. One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, it'll be ours. It will be ours. Oh, glory. I can't hear y'all. Glory. Oh, glory. Glory. Yes. Every generation has a theme, a music, a score to the struggles and the events that are happening in their time. You have been dealing with COVID. You've been dealing with the struggle for Black lives. You've been dealing with a tremendous amount. You've lost family and friends, but you're also witnessing the transformation of our great nation. We're seeing a battle that you have all been very critical. You're a generation, what they call the woke generation. Are you woke? I don't know. Are y'all woke? Because, I marched in the Schenectady Black Lives Matter, and I know I saw some of y'all might have been out there with me. Are you woke? What it means to be woke, what it means to be aware, is to basically step into consciousness. You had the events of COVID that sent you home, but despite that, when an injustice happened, many of you, despite the disease and the risk, you donned your mask and you marched out for justice. My generation had its song. It was called For What It's Worth. Stop, Hey, What's That Sound? By Buffalo Springfield. A lot of folks thought it was about the Vietnam War. But what it was about was police brutality, attacking students, attacking civil rights activists. But more importantly, when it says stop, hey, what's this? It asked our generation to wake up, to be woke. We didn't have the term woke, but we had the term of what's that sound. And we, like your generation, rose up. You had George Floyd. You have Black Lives Matter. But mine is the generation of the loss of Dr. Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, Malcolm X. Mine was also the generation of protest in 1968. Many of the cities, the challenges, the things that you've seen and that you've experienced, we have with the same amount of pushback and intensity. But equally as important as my generation, the death of King was transformational. It came in the wake and the shadow of the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act of 1965, which made whole the promise of 100 years earlier in 1865, the Human Rights Act that was given to African Americans at the end of the Civil War. You have this period in Juneteenth, which is the celebration of just that act that occurred over 153 years ago. It has taken that time, but your actions, you being woke, you pushing the needle, brought about great systemic change. I have 3 points I want to definitely cover. One is being woke, the second is paying attention, and the third is taking action. Yes, we are alive at this intersectional twilight of history where all of the old evils of racism, classism, sexism, imperialism are still gnawing at our culture. To quote William Faulkner, and he spoke of the trauma that then affected his generation, he said, "The past isn't dead. In fact, it isn't even past." And many of you recognize that. We are fighting for the same struggle. But the difference is, people of your generation are paying attention. People of your generation are woke. 17-year-old Darnella Frazier, a person who could be a peer in your class here, armed with the skills of her video recording class, had the patience and calm in the face of horror and the death of another human being, George Floyd. She returned, kept her composure, and recorded for the nation and the world to bear witness to that pain and that sin, that the past is never past. It is still with us, and that we must rise up and make change. She paid attention. She recorded. But equally and more importantly, she fired up your generation, who brought even out us old elders into the streets to march for Black lives. Why? It's not just for Black lives, it's for all lives. Because our nation held that great truth that all human beings are created equal and endowed with certain inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The life of George Floyd mattered. And whether he be black blue, or green. It mattered. And it transformed our nation. No matter where you were, in some of the whitest areas of the state, of New York, in this country, they were marching for black lives. In diverse communities like Schenectady and throughout the state, they were marching for black lives. It is no different when Dr. King and our generation and others marched for civil rights and human rights. Black lives is not at the exclusion of every other life. It is that same common denominator of reminding of the old sin of oppression that is meted out disproportionately upon black lives, that we must rise, be woke, and take action like Darnella did, like your generation did, like you did during the height of COVID. The other piece is paying attention, but taking action. And in taking action, you're moving against the fear. And the fear is what puts you to sleep and what's put our nation to sleep. Now they talk to push back and create fear around critical race theory, something that is actually an academic point and basically talking about history. But they want to basically make talking about history a notion of division. Knowing your past and daring not to, as they say, to repeat it or forget it is A, being woke, but also, and about holding people accountable over racism is creating racism. No, it is not. It is about being aware and daylighting. Your generation is the generation of speaking truth. Your generation is the generation of making that more perfect America. You, class of 2021, are the part of that great intersectional moment of diversity and inclusion, but also taking action. I want you all to continue to be like that, your peer, Darnella Frazier, and lifting up to all of us what we fail to see, to moving that veil of sleep from our eyes so that we can't turn away from the pain of those who suffer like George Floyd. You are the justice generation. You are the generation of that song. You are class of 2021. Glory. You are glory. You are glory. You are glory. And the powers come. I will not stand between you now and your diplomas, but I want you to step forward in your careers, whatever you do, whether it's college, military, your job, or whatever. Keep that power of glory of being woke, taking action, taking power, and leading. Thank you, and God bless your families.
Thank you, Dr. Mayer. We really appreciate the inspirational words. It is my pleasure to invite Gianni Winter back to the podium.
Hey everybody, I'm happy everybody's here. We got a real graduation, okay, period. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chang. Where's he at? Oh, right there, okay. Good afternoon, graduates, families, and friends. It's so wonderful seeing so many faces at our graduation that we weren't sure we were going to have until last week, but be easy. This year, I was voted by my classmates to be vice president of the class of 2021. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I knew I wanted to be more involved in my last year of high school. Not only did being vice president open up so many doors for me, it shaped a friendship that I know will last forever. Working with our class president, Elizabeth Chaco, has been the highlight of my year. Okay. Our long FaceTime calls for planning senior events, The nights we stayed at my house, working until 2 a.m. on senior baskets, or even creating shirts for our class. Elizabeth has worked extremely hard over the past 4 years with the district to implement change and equity, all while being involved in multiple school clubs such as Roots Club, Peer Mediation, Teen Tac D, and several more that I can't list because we will run out of time and be here all night. We gotta go. She also played a different sport for each season and attended other sports games to cheer on her peers, all while being a full IB student. She is the definition of hard work does pay off. In the fall of 2021, she will be attending Boston College to major in psychology, hoping to pursue a career as a psychiatrist. Claps, 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 okay. Elizabeth has taught me that if you believe in something, you stand for it, and to always stay true to yourself and your beliefs. If I could quote something that reminded me of her, it would be to take pride in how far you've come, have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey. Lizzie, I just want to say that I am so proud of you, and I can't wait to see how far you go. The sky's the limit. So it is my honor to introduce your class president, Elizabeth Chaco, to the podium. Sorry, I'm thinking. All right, I'm gonna try not. I was shaking last time. Good afternoon, class of 2021, families, guests, staff, and administrators. My name is Elizabeth Chaco, and I'm honored to be giving this speech in conclusion to my time serving as the class president for Schenectady High School's graduating class of 2021. I thank everyone for taking the time this morning on this lovely day. To our families for encouraging their scholars to wake up every morning and strive for the best. To our staff for building relationships and supporting us throughout these short 4 years. To the administrators, and most importantly, ourselves. The graduates, sorry. A round of applause for the graduates for believing in yourself, pushing through your boundaries, pushing through adversity, and making it here today to cross the stage. Whether we come from first-generation families, families of immigrants, friends that we consider to be our families, we can all gather to celebrate and commemorate the students who have worked hard this past 4 years and throughout these 4 years to cross the stage and enter the first steps of what lie beyond our classroom walls. Sitting in my room this past month, I was conflicted on what topics I should hit during my speech. Under normal circumstances, a class president of a graduating class at Schenectady High wouldn't be delivering a speech. But as we have broken many traditions this year, it seemed right on the sideline of a football game to beg Mr. Chang for a speech on behalf of my peers, to allude to the dedication presented by myself and the class officers this year, to ensure that the social interaction between us was consistent, after finding out in September that the obstacle of COVID resulted in our senior year being virtual. So before I continue this speech, I would like to give a round of applause to the efforts Gianni Winter and I have put on this year to collaborate with our classmates, from sleeping over on the football field to our senior sunset. Through this year, our class has faced many challenges, whether that come from the struggles that were presented to us virtually in our own spaces, or even within the 2.5 years we spent in the school building. All obstacles that have improved our character and brought us to where we are today. I remember my first day of high school. Although I can complain about how the last 4 have flew by, it feels like a century ago. Earlier this week, I got a letter in the mail that I thought was a message that someone had answered my prayers and I received a 5th graduation ticket.
but it was a letter I had written to my senior self, freshman year, in Miss Libertucci's English class. Along with the letter was a form with 10 lines and the word highlights written at the top of the page. I left the top line, my number 1, open with the word fill here for my future self to write in when I graduated high school. Freshman year, my highlights consisted of me becoming a natural, earning the position of class president, taking the time to look into classes, procrastination, and so forth. I remember picturing high school as I think any incoming freshman would. Excited for a traditional pep rallies, homecoming, formal dances, sporting events, maybe even a food fight. I know my 14-year-old self would have expected my top highlight to be prom. But if there's a highlight I could grasp in all my 4 years of high school, it would be deciding to attend and commit to a high school that chose me. If it's nothing I will miss more, it will be the diversity that came from my friends, classmates, and peers. I spent the last 4 years seeing people keep it together while playing sports, having jobs, and taking care of their families. I've met people with mutual friends who shared stories and could complain as much as I do about the school system. I've sat at least 15 lunch tables and witnessed different personalities enjoy the time surrounded by each other. During my time at the high school, my sophomore and junior year, I visited neighboring school districts 2 times, and none could compare to the community that we shared walking in the packed hallways, the noise from A&C lunch, the freshmen yelling at 8 in the morning, or the jokes that we shared on Ms. Hoffman's Google Meet chats. It is not only within the last year I witnessed Schenectady High School steer away from being traditional, but there are so many other scenarios. We are not a typical high school, and I couldn't see myself proud of the time here if we were. These past years, I can say I witnessed the school support between the students increase tremendously, even with COVID as a lying barrier. Students were able to work together to fight for an environment that we believe catered to and was for us. Whether that resulted in pumpkin painting, banner signing, cliff jumping, Valentine's Day baskets, designing and selling our own t-shirts, and this graduation. Its efforts to ensure that this year was at least somewhat enjoyable for our class that showed that we were able to come together for celebration and even demonstration during our class meets. I can say no other class has done it like us. The fight that we have in trust has set the foundation for the people that we will become in the next part of our lives. Class, as you walk away today, I hope you remember and can recognize the greatness that we achieved in a delicate time period, with our resources being our cars and Snapchat. I'll walk away appreciating the memories and accomplishments, treating our school Google Classroom posts as Twitter threads when I look back on the connection we shared. I hope you walk away with a life lesson of knowing it's okay to be untraditional, because it's the energy we spent the past 4 years striving on. There's no other class I'd be more grateful to have failed a drone photo shot with other than you guys, not only on our first day of classes, but beside the tent at prom. I can't wait to see what lies in store for you all and whatever our reunion will be down the line. Until then, remain fabulous or forgetful. Congratulations, everyone. Next, it is my honor to introduce the president of the Schenectady School District Board of Education, Mr. John Foley, for the presentation of the diplomas. John was elected to serve on the Schenectady City School District of May of 2012. He has been the president of the board since July 1st, 2017. He is retired from the United States Postal Service, where he worked as a letter carrier and acting safety specialist. John was also a member of the USPS Albany Crisis Team from July 1993 through 2011. John has been a member of the National Association of Letter Carriers, NALC, since 1975. As a member of the NALC, he has served in a variety of positions, including working as a shop steward, safety officer, and executive vice president of local branch 358. He has also worked in the NALC National Business Agent's Office as a local business agent. As a local business agent, he served as a union advocate in arbitration hearings, was responsible for union organizing, and served on the national USPS NALC Joint Safety Task Force. He currently serves as a chairperson of trustees in a local branch. John is married to Peg Foley, who is an artist and teacher. They have 3 daughters, each of whom attended and graduated from Schenectady City School District. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of the Schenectady Board of Education, Mr. John Foley, for presentation of diplomas.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And good morning. It's afternoon now. On behalf of the entire Board of Education, I want to extend a heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2021. I was told that the 2020 graduates said that one of the best things about participating in a recorded graduation ceremony was that they could fast forward to the speeches that they didn't think would interest them. The class of 2021 does not get to enjoy that advantage, but I think it is far better for all of us to be here in person. I promise I'll be brief. Each year, when I need to do an address at graduation, I look for a relevant quote that works as the theme for the talk and a charge to the graduates that will inform their actions going forward. A few years ago, I talked about the motto above the stage at Mount Pleasant Middle School. As I recall it, it said, "Enter to learn, go forth to serve." Many of you have likely seen this motto numerous times. The graduates I was addressing, like you, had learned a great deal as students, and the charge was to use that knowledge to serve the communities that they would live and work in. Last year, I talked about a culture in which the warriors greet each other with the phrase, "How are the children?" The expected reply is, "The children are well." The point I wanted to make to the graduates last year was that they were now the adults. They now have the responsibility of serving those who come after them. And as the warriors knew, if the children are not well, the society is not healthy. When I began thinking about this year's talk, a quote from Maya Angelou was recommended to me. These are her words. "I've learned that no matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life goes on, and it will be better tomorrow. I've learned that you can tell a lot about a person by the way he or she handles these 3 things: a rainy day, lost luggage, and tangled Christmas tree lights. I've learned that regardless of your relationship with your parents, you'll miss them when they've gone from your life. I've learned that making a living is not the same thing as making a life. I've learned that life sometimes gives you a second chance. I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back. I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I've learned that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love a warm hug or just a friendly pat on the back. I've learned that I still have a lot to learn. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I believe that Maya Angelou is correct. The quotes that I've used in previous addresses were likely forgotten by the graduates long before the day even ended. But the joy of walking across the stage, the happiness of being with friends and family, is probably still cherished by those graduates. So today, I ask you to feel good about yourselves. You deserve to feel good. Graduating from high school is not an easy task. This is likely my final graduation talk and my final charge to graduates at Schenectady High School. When you go out into the world as young adults, remember that how you make people feel will have an impact on the success of all your endeavors, and it will shape how you are known and how you're remembered. Take care to understand how you make people feel. And again, I want to congratulate each of you and thank you for all that you've accomplished as members of Schenectady High School's graduating class of 2021.
Thank you, Mr. Foley. And now, without further delay, at this time, we will award the diplomas to the class of 2021.
John Canton. Ray DePoe. Tiana Fortune. Jakaya Hayes. Dejanea Howard. Nazias Hunter. Joshua LeBay. Alyssa Lakram. Gatry Lalman. Fashawn Landy. Benita Lachman. Mercedes Laura. Mark Lavinia. Sadiq Lawang. James Lawyer. Jacob Leach. Timani Lee. Devin Limos. Maria Limos Flores. Quashane Lennon. Jamari Lewis. Camille Lewis. Rashad Lodge. Madeline Lokenberg. Caitlin Nonergan. Alondra Dashley Lopez. Giovanna Lott. Camille Lovelace. Erica Lovelace. Zach Lucas. Savannah Lyons. Jonathan McKenzie. Sky McDonald. Justin Mahaber. Christina Mahadeo. Louis Maisonette. Joseph Masonette. Sadie Majid. Tatiana Maldonado. Skylar Manchester. Rebecca Mangrew. Islam Martin. Nasea Martin. Isabella Martinez. Myasia Mayat. Mercedes McLean. Liana Walker. Shannon McCloskey. Aaliyah McCautry. Desire McDuffie. Samaje McGill. Jose Melendez. Carissa Miano. Amaya Mickle. Desmiana Mitchell. Jasmine Moffett. Victor Mohaber. Verena Mohanlal. Pervez Muhammad Sadiq. Ariana Monroe. Robert Monroe. Sabina Monroe. Menares Morales. Angelise Morales. Iviana Morales. Daniela Morel. Damian Mosher. Nuran Muhu. Nazruddin Mukman. Alondra Munoz Natal. Samantha Murray. Navendra Nandalal. Lakeraj Narain. Avani Nesbitt. Nubil Nuhu. That's wrong. You want me to do it again? Ian Oliver. Olivia Oliver. Alexander Ordway. Elaine Ortiz. Adonis Osborne. Savannah Oselmo. Jada Overton. Joelle Pacheco. Jocelyn Palma. Hopeton Palmer. Bree Pencham. Eliana Parsons. Justin Patton. Frandasia Patterson. Timothy Payton. Justin Perez. Rebecca Permal. Alana Prasad. Mark Prasad. Talia Prasad. Christina Peru. Savannah Peterson. Rachel Peku. Lokesh Pitamber. Stellan Pula. Zamir Popelzi. Ariana Palopoulos. Eric Powell. Demet Pratt. Jenna Pritchard. Christina Rajpal. Jumana Ahmed. Versami Palaya. Richard Ramkasoon. Navindra Ramjag. Leena Ramkumar. Ganesh Ramnath. Narifa Muhammad. Jashira Melendez. Ryan Ramrati. This is the first name, right? Inalua Ogunwale. DeAndre Montford. Kasasha Quarles. Nyla Moore. Saklin Rana. Banika Rajklant. Tabitha Ramprashad. Emmanuel Randolph. Natalie Ramkalawan. Kyle Rayheiser. Taylor Reed. Christina Renkowitz. Joel Reyes. Gabriela Reyes Colon. Zachary Richard. Georgia Richmond. Jennifer Richmond. Ashley Risen. Jay Rios Nieves. Walia Rivenberg. Justin Rivera. Yanalise Rivera. Michael Rivero. Tyler Rizicone. Grace Roberts. Jalen Roberts. Anthony Robinson. Elijah Robinson. Zakaria Robinson. Etzel Rodriguez. Mildred Rodriguez. Nazali Rodriguez. Lucas Rowland. Brandon Roopnarain. Melina Roopnarain. Alex Rossler. Michaela Rowe. Anaya Rucker. Edward Rucker. Lily Rutsky. Natalia Russo. Skyly Renasco. Ritika Sadhu. Adriana Sage. Najal Sales. Rose Sanchez. Shalini Sankar. Aaliyah Santiago. Xavier Santiago. Nevaeh Scott. Tyler Sears. Ganesh Sibalak. Levi Seenanen. Grace Sally. Hamza Serval. Isha Sudat. Yasera Sheldon. William Siddons. Nayana Simmons. Tavina Sharma. Chitradevi Singh. Gursimran Singh. Ryan Singh. Selena Singh. Shevnarine Singh. Alexis Smith. Anya Smith. Faniza Solomon. Ivan Soto. Liliana Soto. Jarrell Spots. Janae Stevens. Kareem Stevenson. Lily Stewart. Tatiana Stover. Antonio Stiles. Joshua Singh. Aruna Sugrim. Sean Sukraj. Jaya Sukraj. Shivanan Shurzpal. Carlos Sutton. Daryl Sinkan. John Sumer. Aaron Tansick. Jocelyn Tapia. Lanira Teat. Takeshi Tatnall. Okay, what's the name? Ayana Taylor White. Yesenia Tejada Martinez. Dante Terry. Shayana Terry. Takai Terry. Priya Rambaros. Jordan Thomas. Jalissa Torado. Rejana Thomas.
Tote is in tote bag, like Toteram.
Yes. Hannah Toteram. Ravindra Tulsi. Naricia Eula.
I dropped my card, Amari Valentino. I dropped my card.
Amari Valentino. Jadrian Vasquez. Tristan Virgil Didios. Beana Villa. Awesome. Morgan Milano. Maya Wade. Kyrian Walker. Enan Waring. Shantiara Watry. Cora Weaver. Nalea Weber. Aaliyah Westford. Denise Weinglass. Ariana White. And Dia Wilkins. Clarice Williams. Deajane Williams. That's okay, Jaden. Jaden Williams. Javon Williams. Tyree Williams. Victoria Williamson. William Wilsey. Donald Wilson. December Woodard. Isaiah Woods. Denzier Wilcock. Halia Young. Ryan Zhang. Quasim Williams. Kamalnir Sankar. Stephanie Noble. Monique Wilson. What's the first name?
It's Hawa.
Hawa?
Yeah.
Hawa? Hawa?
Yes.
Muhammadi.
Yep.
Hawa.
Muhammad.
Hawa Muhammadi. Hawa Muhammadi. Sophia Chazet. Nathaniel Zimmer. Yep, I got it.
Thank you.
Maya now. And finally, what I would like to announce, the remaining class of 2021, we have students from the top 10, academically top 10, as well as the class of 2021 class officers. Chaz Ramlaw. Angelica Ortiz. Ryan Singh. Gianni Winter.
You can say the whole thing. Elizabeth Chaco Chwambe. Yeah.
Elizabeth Chaco Chwambe.
No, I'm sorry.
Abdullah Sanuola.
Yeah.
Abdullah Sanuola. Grace Lindenfelser.
Could the class officers please come back? So at this time, would the class of 2021 please stand for our John Sayles School of Fine Arts senior vocal students performing the Schenectady High School alma mater.
As we travel on our journey, these memories will hold dear. May the knowledge, dreams, and friendships endure throughout the years. With pride and joy stand, in strength and harmony, your name shall live forever in our hearts, Schenectady.
The class of 2021, please remain standing. At this time, would our graduating seniors please move your tassels from the right side to the left? On behalf of the New York State Education Department, the Schenectady City School District Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Aaron Boshniak, and myself, I officially declare you Schenectady High School's graduating class of 2021. We're done. Class dismissed.